Hey, Status Steve, please like and subscribe. Click on the Deck Heroes icon, click on subscribe. 100% free. Well, blood in, blood out. I've had a day to let this whole kind of William Wallace thing sink into the brain. And to do a quicker, more considered review of the William Wallace. As before, Infantry talent tree and this new Smite talent tree. We'll talk about that a little bit later. It does the 2000. Basically, if you think of how Gubing and how he's a glass cannon, but does massive damage to that one commander whilst he's alive, then you've got this man here, William Wallace, glass cannon, but he is cannon, but also gloss. The end. End of review. Yeah, 2,400 damage to one commander, extra damage to up to 3 commanders. So essentially, then it's not even 2,400 to that one, it's more like 2,700 to one and 300 to the others. We'll come back to that damage calculator because to summarize, it's going to go up towards 4,000, depending on many variables. Similar to Haugabing, very similar to Haugabing. Yeah, okay. The second skill, Gots Wai. This is what makes it the glass cannon. It's not that you don't get any health. It's not that you do not get any health. You get 10%. You get 10%. Luce gets 20%. And for me, I have to pair up Luce with Constantine in order to prevent him being a glass cannon. This guy here gets 10%. He is the most cavalry infantry that comes to mind. That comes to mind with health being an afterthought, relatively high damage to one commander. That's what you're gonna get. It even boosts march speed. Oh my gosh, but not from a meaningful amount. Now I've mentioned it. So with that march speed, if it was a 25-30%, it'd still be slow. Obviously, much slower than Cavs. But you could play it. I guess you could play it like a Cav. You know what I mean? Whatever they do, I'm guessing they just kind of like come in, do their damage, and then yeah, fair enough. Once their troop number gets below a certain point, then they dip out, refresh, and come back in, something like that. Maybe. I'm not a Cav man. Anyway, Lion of the North takes 10% less normal damage. Well, 10% less normal damage on top of the boost to health. Still a glass cannon. Nice. It's like, oh, thank you. It's like a little tickle of happiness, but it's just not enough glass cannon. Whenever this commander's troop deals smite damage with a damage factor greater than 1,000, there is an 80% chance that the damage will be increased by 40% with a cooldown of 10 seconds. That is considerable. That's what moves this active skill, the 2,400, which is really, as I say, 2,700, but this 40% bonus is going to apply to the 2,400, obviously not the 2,700. So 40% of 2,400 is about 1,000, so that puts you up to 3,500. Then you get the additional enemy thing of 300, so that makes it 3,700. And then in the next skill after this, you get another 10%, which moves it closer to that 4,000 I mentioned before. And then you get this 10% normal damage bonus, which makes it more or less guaranteed to be 4,000, assuming that the damage factor is greater than 1,000. I know that's slightly complicated. It is what it is. The short story is the damage to one commander is very close to Hauge Bing, very close to 4,000. The end. So it's almost like area of effect damage all on one commander, right? And that's more like Cavs, right? As I said at the beginning. But with infantry, normally we've got that health tankiness, and I guess we've got the 10% health and the 10% kind of normal damage. But anymore, I'm kind of poo-pooing normal damage, but it is going to be every second. It's definitely going to include that attack. Sorry, because you'll attack and then you'll counter attack. Damage reduction. Okay, so the counter attack damage that you receive will be reduced by 10% in summary. Okay, let's just finish it off. What I was going to say was, listen, if you like cabs, you're going to like this one. But I'm a traditional infantry man. I'm not saying that I hate this thing. Of course, 4,000 damage is massive. You know what I mean? It's just the lack of tankiness that I find it hard to live with, and I just feel that overall I'd have to pair him up with somebody that can offer that tankiness. But Constantine can either go to Luce or he can go to somebody else. And I was looking at the other commanders. Unfortunately, I can't just skip from here to the other commanders because I'm on Facebook right now. And who's going to offer him what he needs? That health boost. Because at least Constantine does the buffing, I think the buff or debuff, whatever. You know what I mean? To like 5 enemies. So you can pick your poison, but who else? Yeah, maybe you got that. If you got the Gorgo, then maybe. And there's going to be another commander that gets released with William Wallace. There's going to be another one. There's 2 people shaded, and they've both got swords, which makes you think there's going to be another infantry person. Maybe that's the perfect partner for this guy. We will see, and maybe there'll be another video. I think that's it. This is more kind of token tankiness with that shield, which is only 1,000, and it's only for 2 seconds with a 10-second cooldown. Yeah, it's okay. Now I'm thinking, what's my ranking? And this is that smite damage tree, and as I mentioned in my first review, is that number 3 really the smite damage reduces enemy rage by 45, which I categorized as new meta, anything which kind of reduces or changes that kind of rage threshold. What's my ranking? I can't get past that lack of tankiness in infantry. It just seems wrong, right? I can't ignore that it does 4,000 damage. I prefer. I like area of effect, but if you do it all to one commander, there's nothing wrong with that. And it is smite, it's not skill damage. He's not awful. In fact, I'm going to upgrade the ranking. It's not 3.5. He's probably about 4, maybe 4.25 or something like that. If I could pair him up with somebody else, which is say adds that tankiness. Constantine has 40% health. That's the kind of tankiness in addition. 30-40% in addition to what he's got, which is 10%. Then we're talking. You know what I mean? Even 25% would be nice. I don't know if there is a 25% health booster. But he just needs that tankiness, and then he could kind of live with it. With the 10% health here, Scott's Way Eye, and that 10% less normal damage, and the shield when expertised. So what? Yeah, maybe 4.25%. No, not percent. Maybe 4.25 out of 5. Yeah, not awful. Not awful. Will I be investing in him? Depends who I compare him up with, as I said. Constantine, yeah, that's definitely for Luce. If I can find somebody else, or if that second commander can offer that tankiness, then I'll definitely think about it. I do expect to see him on the field. He will be somebody I look forward to seeing, in as much as I'm going to have to. He's the first one to get out. He's the first one to get out because he does ridiculous damage to one person. and you can get your kills in because of that lack of tankiness. That's it. Anyway, please like, subscribe. That is Steve, and I'm out.